Hey, all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here, and welcome to another T&I toy review. And for today, I'm going to be taking a look at the new Masters of the Universe Masterverse Shadow Weaver figure, which is part of the Princess of Power subline. And then also from the Revelation cartoon, I'm going to be taking a look at the Masterverse Sorceress figure. So let's head on over to the review studio and take a closer look. First, take a look at the packaging. It's the same packaging that we see with all the Masterverse figures. You've got the Masterverse logo up at the top. You've got the figures clearly displayed. Shadow Weaver has the Princess of Power logo because she's part of that She-Ra subline. And then the Sorceress has the Revelation logo at the bottom because she is based on the Kevin Smith animated series. Then on the sides of the packaging, we've got artwork for both of the characters. And then on the back, we again have additional artwork of the two characters. A brief bio for each one. So here's a look at the Sorceress bio, and this is Shadow Weaver. And then down below it shows us all the figures in the wave. So the two other figures, which I have not yet gotten, are Man-E-Faces and Pighead. Okay, so let's get these open and take a closer look inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figures outside the packaging along with the accessories that are included with them. The Sorceress comes with her staff. This is the same looking staff that we've gotten with other Sorceress figures, including the Origins and Classic version. The staff is actually a little bit taller than the figure itself. And then the figure also comes with two sets of hands, so you get a pair of grip hands for holding the staff, and then you get a pair of hands that are more open. Shadow Weaver comes with this figure stand, which you kind of need to get her to stand straight or look like she's kind of levitating. This is done with a translucent plastic that has a black tint to it. We get her magic wand that has this semi-translucent glowish green globe at the top and then has just the silver handle. We get this fire effect that fits over her hand that's made with a rubber type material, and you've got that translucent fiery orange. It's lighter at the top and then gets darker towards the back. And then finally, like Sorceress, she comes with two pairs of hands. So you get a pair of grip hands, and you'd also use these hands for the fire effect, and then she gets more open like hands as well. Okay, let's start off taking a closer look at the Shadow Weaver figure, and let's start off with her head sculpt. Now, this is the first time I've ever owned a Shadow Weaver figure, so I don't have anything to really compare it by. I do remember her from the She-Ra cartoon, the original She-Ra cartoon, and this figure seems to be very reminiscent of that. So she's got the black face, you've got some metallic gold paint for the eyes, you've got the face mask that is sculpted on there, but then she also has this extra piece that is a separate piece that kind of covers her bottom chin. So overall that looks good. The hat looks, very reminiscent of the cartoon, kind of that witches type hat. Almost looks like this is articulated, but it's not. It's made with just a rubber type material. So overall, I think they've done a pretty good job with the head sculpt on this one. Now for the rest of the figure, so the entire outfit is pretty much all that red maroon type color. You have looks like a little bit of wash here on this scarf piece where it's a little bit darker. But otherwise, the outfit is all pretty much the same color. She has the Horde belt, which is a brighter red. That is sculpted on there. She's got the green skin tone with the black fingernails. So all that looks pretty good. You've got the soft goods cape here on the back, and then this skirt piece is rubber material. She does not have actual legs. I don't know if that's how it was with the original figure or even the Classics version, but that's why I say you'll need the figure stand if you want her to stand straight. Okay, now for Sorceress. So again, with the head sculpt, I think they've done a really good job. I like the way the feathers look, and she's got, of course, the orange bird face with the blue beak. She's got kind of reddish lips. The eyes look pretty good, so no complaints with paint applications or anything. She has this part of her wings or cape or whatever you want to call this is done with a harder plastic. But then she does have the soft goods cape, or again, these are kind of supposed to be her wings. So it's done, there's two pieces of material. There's the shorter orange material, and then there's the blue underneath. Now this cape has these straps that you put around the arms. The straps are not actually around the arms when you take it out of the packaging. You'll need to remove the hands and the head to take off this piece so that you can then get the straps over the arms, and then put this piece back around the neck and put the head and hands back on if you want to do that. You don't have to, but if you want the cape to be attached to her arms so she can like lift her arms out and look like she's like doing her wings out, you'll need to attach those straps. This piece, the skirt piece, is done with a rubber material, and you do have some sculpting detail that looks like feathers. She's got the, you know, she's not wearing really anything underneath there with her legs, so just skin tone. And then she's got the boots with the white fur around that is sculpted plastic, and then just the blue boots. So again, all of that looks pretty good. Again, this is based on her appearance from the Revelation cartoon, so it does look a little bit different than how she looked in the original cartoon series or like the classic figure. Okay, now technically Sorceress is taller than Shadow Weaver if you're just measuring the two figures, but when you put Shadow Weaver on her figure stand, she then is taller than Sorceress. So the Sorceress stands about 6 3/4 inches tall, just a little bit under 7 inches, and then Shadow Weaver on the figure stand, counting to the top of her hat, is a little bit over 7 inches tall. Some size comparisons. Again, I don't have any other Shadow Weaver figures, but here's a look at the Masterverse She-Ra figure. So again, Shadow Weaver is on the figure stand, and she is just a hair taller than She-Ra on the stand. Here's a comparison with fellow Horde member Catra, also part of the Masterverse line. And then final comparison with Shadow Weaver is the Masterverse Horde. Okay, now for some size comparisons with Sorceress. So I do have the classic Sorceress figure, so you can see the classic Sorceress is a little bit taller than this Masterverse Sorceress. And, you know, I gotta say that I actually prefer the more classic look of Sorceress than this newer look from the Revelation series. So hopefully at some point we will get like a new Eternia version of Sorceress for the Masterverse line. And here's a comparison with the Revelation Evelyn Sorceress with this new Masterverse Revelation regular Sorceress. The final comparison of the day is the Revelation He-Man and the Revelation Teela, the first Teela that they did in the line. Okay, now for articulation, so she can turn her head all the way around, even with that headpiece. The headpiece is done with just a rubber type material. As far as the arms go, she can get her arms out good, even with those shoulder pieces. So you can stretch out the cape. So again, it looks like she is spreading her wings, which I think is supposed to be the point of that. The orange pieces, though, they don't stay straight out very well. They kind of fold up pretty easily, so that's just something you have to kind of be wary of. But as far as the arms and the articulation, she can get the arms out pretty good. Now, as far as rotation goes, as long as you have the straps attached to her arm, then you can't rotate the arms all the way around. You do get a bicep swivel with this one, and she does have a double jointed elbow, so she's got good bending there at the elbow. You get rotation with the hands and the hinges, so you get the up and down movement. She's got a midsection joint, so she can rotate, she can pivot a little bit, and she can crunch forward about that much, and then she can look back about that much. She does not have a waist swivel, I don't think. If she did, you can't really use it. But the legs, she can do the splits about that much because you do have the slits in the skirt. As far as getting the leg forward, she can only do the leg forward about that much. And she can do the leg kind of back and out a little bit, but not a whole lot of back movement there with the leg. You do have a thigh swivel, so thigh swivel with the figure, and then you get a double jointed knee, so she does have good bending there at the knee. You get a boot cuff swivel. You get hinges on the feet, so up and down movement, and you do get ankle pivot and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Now for Shadow Weaver, her articulation, she's got pretty good head movement. You wouldn't think so, but she does. She can actually look down about that much. She can rotate her head all the way around. She can't really look back though. She does get some head pivot. With the arms, she can get her arms out good. She's got good rotation. She's got the bicep swivel. She has the double hinged elbows and then rotation with the hands and hinges. She does not have a midsection joint, or she does have a midsection joint, so she can rotate there, but you don't get a whole lot of movement with this joint. You get better better movement there with the Sorceress. And then, as I mentioned before, the legs are all just one piece, but you do have a joint there in the middle, so you can do back and forth. And then the figure stand itself also has articulation, so you can do this piece back and forth as well. Out of the two figures, I definitely like the Shadow Weaver figure better. Part of it with the Sorceress is I just don't like this look as much, and then also I don't think the soft goods cape works as well for like trying to mimic her wings. Like on the classic version with the plastic wings, I think that's a better look for the character. So as I mentioned before, I do hope at some point we get like a new Eternia version of Sorceress that has more of a classic look to her. It's not a bad figure, and it's a pretty good representation of how she appears in the cartoon. It's just, again, not my favorite look. Shadow Weaver I definitely like, even though I haven't had any other Shadow Weaver figures. I think this one does a pretty good job of capturing the likeness of the character. Now, both of these figures have started to see release. I got mine off of Amazon. I believe they are currently sold out. However, you can get them from places like our sponsors, Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. And I'll have a full image gallery up at Toy News International. So that's my review. As always, I'd love to hear your own thoughts about the figures down in the comments section below. Like this video if you're so inclined, and if you're new to the channel, please think about subscribing and hitting the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. As always, guys, stay safe out there, and until next time, I'll catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.